And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals of Code for Giants Cup. Code for Giants Cup number 15. We have our grand finals. We have our grand finals ahead of us. We have had a very fast, very intense tournament so far. We've made it all the way to the top 2, and we have a Zerg and a Protoss waiting for him, which is what we expected, but we didn't quite expect this specific Protoss player. We had a crazy upset earlier. Master has fallen, and another Protoss has risen in his place. Let's jump in. As sporting in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the red Zerg player representing the CranKy Ducklings, as he's one of our own. He's going for a 13-12. Oh my god! Hyper aggressive here. It is Erik. What does he stand for? He stands for endurance, righteousness, intellect, and kangaroo. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss from the land of Brazil, representing Team Hellfire. It is the underdog himself. He's the master slayer. It is AlisoN, aka AlisoN. Here we go. As we are going to be settling in, and we do have a cannon. Wait, okay, there's a lot going on. So AlisoN confirms. Okay, 13-12. 13-12 opener here out of Erik. Fast gas guys are into fast spawning pool. Very aggressive build here by the Zerg player. AlisoN did scout, did confirm. He responds with a forge, with a cannon rush defense. So with this forge, we should be seeing cannons here to wall up, to wall off, and AlisoN should be able to hold on here as we do see the first cannon thrown down. So AlisoN taking this very, very seriously. Also, before I forget, predictions. Predictions open. Place your bets while you can, as predictions will be open in the chat. Place your bets on who you think will win this series and will be our champion this week. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat. As Erik is expanding, he is moving out. Link speed is on the way, and Erik pulls out of gas. Interesting. He does pull out of gas. So Erik, he's actually not moving out. He does make some lings, that is true. He does make a queen, but he doesn't commit to an all-in. He doesn't go for a Bane bust. He doesn't go for a Roach Rush. He just makes lings, and he forces this reaction. And you could argue this is an overreaction, as AlisoN does delay his expansion in favor of a Forge and in favor of a cannon, a Cybercore, delayed everything else. Everything is delayed. From here, Erik can drone. Erik can freely drone up, can freely saturate his bases, can calm things down. Here we go. And we'll see where this leads. More importantly, we'll see where AlisoN goes from here. It should be Stargate into, I would imagine, Void Ray. But Stargate should be... There we go. Stargate has been thrown down for AlisoN. It is a very awkward start for the Protoss player. It is quite awkward, but again, he can still work with this. Meanwhile, Erik back at home also did have a delayed expansion, right? Because the early gas, because the early pool is going to be delayed base, so you can now drone up, can now saturate, and we'll transfer from here. Good. Ooh, fast +1. I mean, it's a good way to make use of the forge, so +1 attack is on the way. This feels like it's going to lead into Void Ray charge lots. That would make sense in my mind, but we'll see if AlisoN does commit into something like charge lot production into a Twilight Council. But now there's the first Void Ray. Makes sense. Void Ray is on the way. That is to shut down the Overlords. That is to deny vision, deny scouting, and to maintain ourselves on 2 bases. It'll also keep AlisoN safe against a Roach all-in. Meanwhile, there's the Twilight Council. Should not be a surprise. As we mentioned, with +1 attack on the way, I'm leaning towards charge. I'm leaning towards a charge-based all-in here from AlisoN. We'll see. We'll see if it's charge or if it's something else. I mean, it could still be Blink. Blink is on the table. True. Is a viable option here for AlisoN. As the Void Ray does move out, hunting down Overlords. AlisoN trying to break out to eventually expand, I would imagine. To try to take a third. There we go. There's that charge, as it had mentioned. So +1 charge with Void Rays. I mean, this is a build. This is an all-in that we have seen from time to... I say from time. It's a rare build, I should emphasize. It is a rare build, but a build nonetheless. That AlisoN is working towards. Back at home, Erik droning up, getting towards his own safety Roach Warren. His queen count is still quite low. He's getting up to 6 queens, though. 6 queens, they can hold their own. No spores have been thrown down yet. First Void Ray moving out across the map. Does move out. And Erik is amassing roaches. He has not droned up his third. He's cutting workers here at 46, making a massive amount of roach, which honestly will keep him safe against this army. Erik, I believe he did see plus on researching earlier, so I mean, if we can read that it's going to be charged, then Erik can as well. So most likely he's getting ready for the would-be charge lots. But is it going to be enough? Is it going to be enough? Is it going to be in time? So the army is building up. Do have the overload speed on the way. AlisoN getting ready for a proxy gateway to reinforce. And AlisoN is working on those zealot warbins. He's building up those chargelots. Likewise, Erik, it looks like he's going for a German taxi. Okay. So we have an all-in versus an all-in. It's going to be Chargelot Void Ray with +1 for AlisoN. It's going to be Ling Roach Queen with Job Lords from Erik. Oh boy. AlisoN is the first to pull the trigger, does move out, does have the pylon to reinforce, no proxy gateway, so delayed warp-ins. There's not enough here though. AlisoN is missing a warp-in. There's just so many roaches. There's too many roaches. This army's going to be shut down. Clutch transfused, but one queen does fall. The Void Rays are going to be able to bomb the queens. But Erik, he can keep pushing. As the queens, they target down the Void Rays they can. There's 2 Void Rays left. With the reinforcing queens, Erik, he will clean this up, actually. And yeah, GG gets called. There's nothing left for AlisoN. And Erik takes game number 1. GG. AlisoN... Oh, sorry, Erik. I think I said AlisoN takes game 1. Erik takes game number 1. As Erik, he shuts down the ground army. He's able to overwhelm the Void Rays. And GG, well played. AlisoN just did not have enough to really compare to the army that Erik was building up. Again, Erik did cut workers at 46. He cut workers really early on. Built up a massive amount of roach. And again, he was getting ready for his own all-in. So GG, well played. Erik does take a lead in the series. But now we're getting into game 2. Again, as a reminder, this is a best of 5. Plenty more games ahead of us. Plenty more games to come. Let's go. Oh. Here we go. So we are jumping into game 2. It's going to be on Golden Aura. Also, if I look brighter than normal, by the way, this is natural light. I have a... Open up the window. The sun is shining through. And while I'm casting, I'm also trying to keep an eye outside to see if see if the delivery man arrives. Let's go. Here we go. Getting into game 2. Also, Erik, he was letting us know in the lobby chat. He was like, yo, that was the most telegraphed Void Ray charge all-in I've ever seen. Oh, no. True. But here we go. We're getting into game 2 and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Golden Aura. We have the Brazilian Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Team Hellfire. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back, and we'll see if he can force a series out of this and make a back and forth happen. It is AlisoN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player, the Brazilian Zerg. He's one of our own. He's one of the CranKy Ducklings, and once again, going for a early gas into pool here. Once again, an aggressive start. It is Erik. Now, clearly, this can turn into a Bane Bus. This can turn into a Bane Bus, this can turn into a Roach Rush as well, or this could also force a reaction out of AlisoN, force a Forge and a Cannon, and force a defensive start, and then Erik just drones, as we saw from the last game. So this is the same opener so far, I believe 13-12, but is droning up behind this. And we'll see if Erik commits into something more aggressive or not. He's mining gas as we speak to rush into link speed, of course. Meanwhile, back at home, AlisoN does go for a 2-gate opener. This is not normal. Very unorthodox here. 2-gate opener out of AlisoN. This can lead into a 1-base all-in. The probe does move out. I'm looking for a proxy. I'm waiting for the setup. There's a Cybercore from AlisoN. Probe is being active. Do we go for the proxy Stargate or proxy Robo, or what do we go for? What's the plan? Pylon is placed. Erik moves out. Link speed is on the way. Erik pulls out. He pulls out of gas, so he's not Bane busting, he's not roach rushing, he's just going for fast link speed into an expand. This feels like a very safe way to play. Very safe way to play. And I wonder if it's because of AlisoN's reputation. I mentioned before when we were talking about Datagiba versus AlisoN I was talking about how fast a series that was going to be. Because AlisoN and Datagiba, they're known for cheesing and they're known for all-ins. And I feel like Erik is aware of that here as well. It's going to be Chrono to Depths. Twilight Council on the way on one base. Dark Shrine? Are we going proxy DT? Like, Gateway into Dark Shrine would make sense here. Otherwise, it could just be Gateway with a third Gateway back at home into a 4-gate Glaive Adept build. But no, this has to be Dark Templar, right? It's gotta be DTs, I would imagine. I would imagine here. Show us that build. Oh, no, Glaives. Okay, never mind. It's going to be Glaives. Going to be Glaive Adepts here from AlisoN. He's got 2 gates back at home. He's got 1 proxied across the map, so 3-gate Glaives. Adepts, they do get into the main. So far, so good. They do deny mining here. They get 3 drone kills already. Getting 4. Getting 5. Ooh, that is stacking up. 5 kills here for 2 Adepts. A worthwhile trade. Very worthwhile for AlisoN. Trades very well. Oh my god, I was just dying for a moment. Okay, we good. Just coughing my lungs out. So it's going to be 2 gates at home and 2 gates across the map, so it's 4-gate. It's 4-gate Glaive Adepts here from AlisoN. And we'll see if Erik can keep up. Erik is going for his own Roach one. Erik, he did lose a lot of drones in the other game. 5 drone kills is not insignificant. So very nice economic damage dealt here by AlisoN. Overlord does confirm the 1 base play. And Erik should know that there's a proxy somewhere. He should know that there is a proxy. Is looking for another kind of setup, maybe a stray expansion, a hidden third. Does poke in. And that means that there's that much less at home to defend. Erik's in trouble. Erik is in trouble. He does go for the full wall. Roaches are amassing. Adepts are revealed. Erik, he now knows the direction that the Adepts are coming in. They're coming from. And he can go for the proxy. It collapses here on the pylon. Adepts have arrived. They're knocking down the Evo chamber. They will. Roaches are here, but Adepts, they break through. They do break through. They're getting some of the Roaches. Roaches, they need a little bit more time, and this may just be too much. It may be too much here as he shades into the main. Ling Roach trying to keep up. The gateways have been depowered, but we need the Lings at home. There we go. They do actually respond. Drones are pulled away. Erik is trying to keep up. He's bleeding out a lot of Roaches, but he hasn't lost many workers yet. Adepts, they do shade out. Shade out of the natural. Roaches are keeping up. Yeah, and Erik, he is cleaning this up here. He's finally taking some losses. Finally, some drones are going down. That's going to be 4 or 5 drone kills. And AlisoN takes a worker lead, but he's stuck on 1 base. Remember that. He's stuck on 1 base. The gateways are depowered. He cannot repower them because he's walled in. AlisoN, he's walled in. And Erik holds. From here, Erik can drone. Erik can safely drone up. He can clean up these gateways. And AlisoN is stuck on 1 base. Now, we do see that he's rebuilding that production building. Going for a gateway. Robo, that should be for a Warp Prism. Blink is on the way as well. But now Erik has a lot of time to recover and to recoup those losses. He may have lost a lot of drones, and he did. Looking at the Unisol Slab, 12 drone kills. 12, that's a lot of drones. 12 drones that go down, but Erik can now rebuild all of that. Spores on the way. Erik, he's scared of DTs. Don't blame him. Lings, they poke in. They get eyes on the Stalker production. Interesting. That is a bit of a tell. It is a bit of a tell that AlisoN is not making non-stop Adepts. And here comes the Prism. To the eventual all-in. Back at home, Erik, he's still somewhat droning. He's on 2 gases. From here, I think he can go up to maybe 3 gases. Oh, he could be too greedy, though. He can get away with some droning, but just not too much. As he's scouting, looking for another proxy. You can see here the Lings, they fan out. They're checking everywhere. Also, I think I know why I'm dying. I opened the curtains for the first time in like 20 years, and now I have been attacked by dust. As AlisoN, he does move out. Again, completely all in. How many stalkers? 14. 14 stalkers on one base. That's a lot of stalkers. Erik did drone up to 29, did cut workers. He's massing up Ling Ravager. But does he have the production here to keep up with this kind of army? Can he keep up? Gamer seeing sunlight. True, it burns, man. It's killing me. So far, getting an Evo chamber. One Evo chamber goes down, going for the other. Trading with the Lings. These are losses that Erik can afford. Evo chambers go down. Erik just trying to buy time for more Lings and Roaches. Building up an army. Meanwhile, AlisoN pushing in with Blink. He can avoid these wiles. Oh my god. Does take him out to the face. Does take one to the face. Trading with the Roaches. Lings are going down. So far, efficient pickoffs here by AlisoN. And that stalker count is just getting higher and higher over time. Oh. Files, they do graze the army though. Wiles to connect. Stalkers pushing in. They get an Overlord. And we do see the surrounding with the Lings. Not bad. Lings are coming from behind. Stalkers are falling. Very nice engage here from Erik. Even I myself, I wasn't quite noticing the Lings there. Very nicely done. And with that, Erik, he gains ground. He gains breathing room. He forces back the army. Picked off so many Stalkers. Observer takes a hit. Falls as well. And Erik, he should be comfortable from here. Did lose some Ravagers in the process. He's down to 1. But outside of that, he should be okay. Lings, they're still out on the map, still getting ready for another surround. Just waiting for the moment. There's the blink. Lings, they think about it. They don't quite commit yet. Erik, he's setting up. Oh, but there's a blink available. Yeah, he does blink away. Erik doesn't quite get the round he was hoping for, but regardless, GG does trade well enough. Too much, it has taken too long, and Erik will take game number 1. Oh, sorry, number 2. He'll take a 2-0 lead in the series. Whew. GG. Solid 2-0 lead here. Again, a very chaotic build here from AlisoN. Initially, Adepts into a follow-up, a blink all in. The Adepts, they did well. Remember, 12 drone kills. 12 workers went down. It was not bad. It was not a bad start for AlisoN, but unfortunately, the follow-up all in took a little bit too long. Took a little bit too long to break into the natural base. We saw that over time, Erik was able to build up a large enough Roach Ravager army. Was able to get ready for that surround as well, eventually for that breakout, and yeah, it did snowball out of control from there. GG, well played. 20 years. Oh, no. That's all good. Just keeping my head over the monitor. I'm like, trying to keep an eye on things. Doesn't help that the tracking is vague as hell. Like, there's no, like, individual tracking. It's like, oh, it's coming today. It's like, oh, cool. When? Is that today? Thanks for that. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the information. Yeah. As spawning in the top left-hand corner, of Side Delta, we have our Red Zerg player leading the series 2-0. Uno mas. One more game is all he needs to claim the series and to become this week's Code for Giants Cup champion. Representing the CranKy Ducklings, he's one of our own. What does he stand for? He stands for endurance, righteousness, intellect, and kangaroo. It is Erik. 14-14. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, the Brazilian Protoss, representing Team Hellfire, down in this series, has been very aggressive this series so far, going for a charge Void Ray all-in in Game 1, going for a 1-base Blink all-in in Game 2. Now, it's a Cannon Rush. And it is also AlisoN. Will it work? Can he pop off? Can he make a series out of this? The Forge has been placed, and the probe is on the way. The Cannon Rush is upon us. Can AlisoN set up? Let's go. This probe moves out across the map. It's not just one. There should be a second probe soon thereafter as well, to throw down those pylons and to get those cannons going. Now, unfortunately for this Cannon Rush, as we mentioned, 14-14. It's been a 14-14 every game so far of this series. Fast link speed into fast links, into map control, into a delayed expansion, time and time again. So it's going to be a Forge fast expand. Oof, no Cannon Rush as there was no natural base. Links are already in production, so the Cannon Rush would have failed. And AlisoN has to try to pivot away and get into something different. Oh boy. Lings are moving out. Erik can now expand. And we saw the last time we had this kind of setup here, we saw this lead into Void Ray charge lots with +1 attack, into a Void Ray charge lot all in. And we'll see if AlisoN does embrace that again or if he goes for something different. We could see Sky Toss instead, you know, like Stargate into Fleet Beacon into Carrier or into Tempest. So it could be a Carrier Rush, could be a Tempest Rush. The other thing it could be, I mean, it could be another charge +1 Void Ray all in again, true. It could be Mass Oracle, that's another like viable option. But it should be something clearly on 2 bases. And usually very tech heavy as well. But we'll see. We shall see. As the Cybercore is on the way, Cannon does complete. Erik does confirm the wall. He is aware at least. But where does Erik go from here? Where does he go from here? Likewise, where does AlisoN go from here? Just waiting for the Cybercore. Waiting on that Cybercore. Does complete and show us the tech of choice. Pylon has been placed. It is going to be the Robo, the Twilight Council, the Stargate. We have confirmation. Twilight Council opener. Now, this can lead into Glaive Adepts again. This can lead into a Dark Shrine, into DTs. Those are the 2 more common and more popular options. That's what we should be seeing, but our eyes are going to be here on AlisoN. Overlord Scout does get eyes on the setup. Does confirm. Lings, they do slip into the natural. Up. Going for the mineral line. And they do manage to catch 1 probe. Not bad. 1 probe goes down. We got a full scout of the main as well. Oh, we at least attempt to. We did, yeah. It's going to be charge. I assumed it was going to be Glaives or DTs, but no, it's going to be charge instead. The Ling does confirm there are 2 gases in the main, no gases at the natural. Extra gateways being thrown down. The lack of extra gases, I mean, this could still be Glaive Adepts in the eyes of Erik. Regardless, Roaches are on the way. He throws down the Roach War, and he knows it's going to be a ground-based aggression, a ground-based push. So Erik is getting ready, gets his 3rd just for Larva. Saturating his bases, he's on 3 gases. Solid saturation here. And it is a 2-base all-in. That's a massive gateway explosion. That's going to be a 6-gate 2-base all-in out of AlisoN with Immortals and charge lots. One way or another, the game is going to end. Either AlisoN kills Erik or he dies trying. Now, so far, Erik is respecting this. He's not droning too much. He is not making any workers here at the 3rd. He's staying on even under 2-base saturation. His natural is saturated, but the main base, he's lacking a gas. He's staying on 3 to afford more links. When he finds the proxy pylon, pylon goes down. Reinforcements are going to be delayed. Has to wait for the Warp Prism. As AlisoN is building up. The natural's looking a little bit messy, but it's fine. It's fine. And Erik, he does spot the move out. The charge lots are revealed. Charge lots, they are going to be revealed here. AlisoN does commit, does move out. Going for a massive warp in. Erik behind this has been getting ready the entire time. Building on more roaches. Things a threat in the army. They will delay at least, but the Lings do go down. Good pickups from AlisoN. More reinforcements on the way. Just the one immortal for the time being. And just one. Mass charge up behind it. No +1 this time. Force fields that can be plowed down. AlisoN going for the third. Erik gonna try and chase this. There are those force fields though. Only 3 Ravagers, bear that in mind. They're the first force fields. Biles, they should shut them down. Force fields are broken. Roach Ravager pushes in. Oh, and we're running out of Zealots. AlisoN, he's running out of Zealots here. They try to commit. But Erik, he will completely shut this down. The Biles, they go for the Prism. Up. Prism does take a lot of hits and does go down. Warp-in did complete though. Despite that, it looks like it's going to be too much. Erik, he cleans up the army, shuts down the all-in, and Erik, he will take the series 3-0. GG. GG, well played. Erik having to react to his opponent every game, something you don't see it too often, but AlisoN was hyper aggressive, was all in every single game, whether it was 1 base, whether it was 2 base, regardless. AlisoN was not looking to expand or not looking to macro, and Erik was fully aware of that, was prepared for that as well. Every game Erik played safely. He went 14-14 into faster link speed, into a later expansion but earlier links just to be secure. And Erik, he was able to make full use of that, was able to survive, able to scout, confirm, and respect the all-ins time and time again. Made sure he never over-droned, he never made too many workers. I will say that the best showing I do think of AlisoN was Game 2. We saw in Game 2, AlisoN with Glaive Adepts was able to harass, was able to kill 12 drones. It was a lot of economic damage, and he did follow up with a 2-base all-in, sorry, with a 1-base all-in. But you know, it's on 1 base. Like, it was so committed, mate. It was so committed, and the longer it went on, the worse it became for AlisoN, so he barely did not have enough. Regardless, GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Erik, as he is going to be our Code for Giants Cup champion this week. My condolences to AlisoN, but also a shout-out as well, because I mentioned before, AlisoN was not favored to make it to the finals. Master was. Master was favored instead, and AlisoN did cause a massive upset. A massive upset did occur, where AlisoN was able to bring Master down in the quarterfinals and make it to the finals instead. So congratulations here to AlisoN for causing that upset. Does walk away with some extra prize money as well as a result. And with that, GG. GG, well played. Good. Still dying, but GG, well played. Erik does take it in the end, and congratulations. With that, we are going to be wrapping up for the time being. We are going to have another cast later on tonight. We're going to be covering StarCraft Evolution League, the 4 Championship Group B. Group B is going to be later tonight. I might solo cast it, I might cast it with Yaku. Yaku has told me that he is uncertain if he will be available or not. It does depend on what occurs here today, as he does have some other IRL commitments to address. So there's some other things that he has to do first, and if he is available, he will jump on and cast as well. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun casting StarCraft Evolution with Yaku last night, so hopefully we can do it again today. If not, he'll be joining us tomorrow. He'll be joining us tomorrow instead, as there's, again, plenty of StarCraft Evolution to come. There's 4 groups, and we've only covered 1 so far. So I do recommend it. Also, a shout out to Cosmos. Cosmos, of course, he is the Brazilian caster. He is the organizer and also helps fund the event as well. Without Cosmos, this tournament would not be possible. So big shout out to Cosmos for all that he does for the scene, for the community, for StarCraft. Much love to Cosmos. And yeah, with that, we are going to be wrapping up. Now, there was a replay redeemed earlier, and this cast has only gone on for 3 hours. So you know what? We have time. We have time. May as well jump into a cheeky replay cast. for those that don't know, we do have a point redemption in the chat. You can, with I think it's like 10,000 grapes, you can redeem a replay cast where we will be going over one of your very own replays. So more than happy to. This was redeemed earlier this broadcast, so I'm more than happy to quickly jump into this and go over the replays. I do actually have a couple of replays available, but I'm not too confident going through every single one right now, so I'll just go through the one that was redeemed today, and I'll go through the others at a later date instead. I mentioned before the reason why I'm a little bit distracted and my mind is a little bit elsewhere is because, for those who don't know, I did because it's Black Friday, you know, the sales are upon us, and I have finally, after many years, I finally decided to upgrade my PC, and I have ordered some parts, and they are coming soon. TM. I was notified that they're coming today. I just don't know when. And especially because I'm usually like engrossed in casting, and you know, I'm you know, in it. If I didn't notice, you know, the package arriving, then most likely it'd be sent back to the post office, and then it wouldn't be available for like another couple of days, and it's the end of the week, so I'd probably have to get it next week. So if I do miss it, I probably wouldn't be able to get them until next week, most likely. So especially because we're so busy casting, like our casting schedule is quite busy, so I don't want that to happen. That's why I'm looking out the window right now to make sure I get eyes on that. Hopefully. So yeah, that exciting stuff here upon us. You know, potential new PC. I built my PC that I'm currently using back in 2016. It was brand new back then. It was quite expensive as well. Like, everything high end back in 2016. You know, with a 1080. But now, you know, many years later, it has aged quite a bit, and it was for my birthday. My birthday a couple of weeks ago, I actually got Final Fantasy 16 to play on stream, and my PC could not handle Final Fantasy 16. And that was the moment where I'm like, I guess I need a new setup, because if I like, that's never happened before, but I just could not run the game properly. It was just constantly crashing on me, constantly non-stop crashing, and the frames were dropping as well. It was awful. So yeah, that was rough. That was rough, and that was the sign. That was a sign of maybe it's time to upgrade. Especially because I'm like 3 generations behind when it comes to graphics cards with the 1080. For those that are curious, I'm getting a 4080. Is that what it is? RTX 4080. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. I'm not getting a 4090. 4090 is like double the cost, mate. It's so expensive. Like no shot. I'm not getting a 4090, but I'm getting a 4080 and a bunch of other stuff as well. So exciting things to come. For now, though, we're going to be going on a short break. I'm going to be setting up some overlays, and then we'll be jumping into a viewer replay cast. That is the plan. That is the current plan here. So we'll see you guys shortly after the break. See you soon. Otherwise, if you don't want to tune into this, if you are otherwise preoccupied and going to be heading off, you can follow us on all the social medias: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord, all things CranKy Ducklings. You can follow us. We do post when we go live on all the social medias, and we also have VODs available on YouTube immediately as well. The VODs we're streaming on YouTube, and also VODs are there as soon as possible. So do check out those VODs if you're interested. If you can't watch live, we got you covered on YouTube. Otherwise, we'll see you guys after the break with a fun viewer replay cast. See you soon.